Welcome back, guys. We're on our way to go check out this arroyo. I've been looking at this thing on Google Earth and Google Maps and doing some stuff, and looks like it probably might be pretty good. I don't know if we have any kind of gold in that area, but you know me, I'm out and about always trying to see if I can find some, even where they say there isn't. But I'm gonna grab a bunch of buckets, probably find us some gravels over there, and then get to digging so I can bring home a sample. So let me get on over there and then I'll show you guys what I got going on today. So here we are at the spot. I want to get in this kind of arroyo to get some buckets. We'll see if that happens. We'll just have to look at the material and see what I think about it. But it's about 38 degrees out here today, so that's just the perfect temperature to do this kind of work. But let me get this camera turned around, guys. I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at. So this is this little arroyo here, and it's just been really eroded down. You guys can see all of this. It's all washed out of that canyon up there and dug this out. But lots of different layering in here. A lot of these rocks don't necessarily have good geology to them. It's a pretty good sized black band right in here. You can't see it so much because it's kind of been oxidized, so it looks kind of white. But that stuff, I wished it were iron, but it's not. It's just kind of like a slate style material. It kind of flakes off. So, but up here is where we want to come, see if we can get us some samples, if some good material has been washed out. So let me get up here. Here we are, a bunch of big bedrock in here. Don't like that little cave right there. Some big rocks laid over. There might be some critters in there that I might have to go and chase out. That sucker over here looks like it goes in pretty deep. As far as material goes, I don't see anything. I was hoping for a big buildup of gravels in here, but see, all this stuff, this is all gonna be frozen. So that's gonna make it a pain in the butt. Over here, hoping to see some gravelly type stuff washed out. So I don't think we're gonna get any good buckets here, but if you could see this stuff here, look at, see that quartz vein right here? Well, believe it or not, these quartz veins they're everywhere around here. Got some right there, a real long skinny one here and here. There's one there. So what I'm gonna do here is I brought my gold monster with me. Maybe we'll just run the gold monster over this stuff. I think that'll be a better thing. Won't take me very long. We'll end up blowing through this stuff pretty quick and see if we find any kind of tiny micro pieces. May end up having to do a little bit of crevicing if that's the case, but let's get all that gear. Let me walk all the way back to the truck, and then I'll be back when I start to get all set up. All right, got everything back down here. I'm going to start up on those layers, kind of just work all that. This ought to be a quick one. I'm probably gonna catch a million BBs and bottle caps and nails and screws, but that'll be all right. Let's just see what we end up digging up. We got somebody over there. She wants to be over there suntanning, so I don't blame her. It's a lot warmer in that sun, but let me get this camera set up, guys, and we'll get to it. So it just goes to show that when you think you're going to go out, you've got a plan, you're going to go work a wash, that you find it to be fairly barren. You know, you can only go so far on Google Earth or Google Maps. You can zoom in and it kind of looks good, but you just never really know until you get out there.
I usually carry my metal detector with me, my vacuum with me, just in case I have to switch gears when I'm out and about, because it happens all the time. Especially in a place like this that I've been doing some research on Google Earth, trying to look and find and see where I can park and all of this good stuff. Some of the places you have to walk in real far. Those are a little sketchy in my opinion, just because you just don't want to leave your vehicle out somewhere in the boondocks. You know, who knows what could happen to it out there. But this particular place, yeah, I had found it on Google Earth. It looked pretty good. It's kind of out in the boondocks and in the mountains, hoping to find something in here. But you know, this kind of stuff takes a lot of time. You can come out the first time, not find anything. You know, it takes a lot of work to work every little nook and cranny in every little tiny area before you might even find just the smallest little piece. Prospecting is not easy, and rarely do you ever go out and find any huge big nuggets of gold. But I figured I'd share some stuff with you guys here on kind of what I do and how I go about doing things. And I'll throw some of these up here on the screen and make sure that I put them in the description also to help you guys out if you're just getting into this and needing to do some research. So the first thing I do is start searching through Google Earth, looking for places like I said before. Then I head on over to, you know, there's several places. There's BLM National Data, there's the research map, BLM MLRS, there's Land Matters, there's MindDat. There's just so many resources out there on the internet where you can go and start looking around in your local area to see if there's anything out there. I carry around with me on my cell phone an app called CalTopo. That one's pretty darn good. You can filter it in a million different ways to show geology of areas and so on and so forth, and it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but if you take some time to learn it, it's really, really helpful. And usually I spend 5 to 6 times. And usually if you guys see me out here for like an hour or 2 or 3, typically I'll have like 8 to 10 hours behind the scenes of where I've researched before I even went out. All right, so guys, let me give you the grand tour of this little job that we did today, me and the suntan sprout. Let me climb up here. So we started off, we metal detected all of this stuff. That label, believe it or not, that Bud Light label, must have a little bit of foil in it or something. I thought they were paper, but this thing keeps banging the metal detector off. Found a lot of little tiny pieces. Look at all those little quartz veins in there. Pretty good little quartz veins. As you get higher, they start to get a little bit bigger, so that's kind of a cool thing. Do they hold gold? Who knows? Probably not. Dug out a bunch of these cracks. There was a bunch of stuff in that one here, over there. When it came to these other ledges over here, I didn't really find too much. I didn't get a lot of hits from all of like this ledge. There wasn't many. I'm kind of surprised. But then when I got down here on this last piece of big flat bedrock, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff that cascades off of there, falls down, makes its final resting area right in here. I dug one out over here. You can see a whole bunch of spots. There's a big crack right here that I dug 2 little spots right here, and then there's this spot and that spot and this spot and that. I mean, there is a bunch of targets down here on the bottom. Found this rock too. It's got a really pretty looking quartz vein in it. You can see it in here. This is in between limestone though. Don't have any idea if there's any gold in it, but it is pretty pink and kind of red. If you guys can kind of see that stuff. So, you know, I'm not sure. We'll just play around with it. I'll keep doing some research in this area to see if I can find any proof that there was gold at any time. There might just be very small trace amounts. I am going to chase this arroyo down though. I was hoping to find some good gravels here today. Did not. That's why we metal detected. But somewhere down along the way, there should be some kind of gravels that have built up over time. And that's where I'm going to get a good sample from. So I'll have to go and do that. But guys, let me turn this camera around and I'll show you what we dug out of here today. We've got 22 casings, all kinds of tiny little pieces of just regular old metal. That little tiny piece of metal looks like maybe some kind of spring shit, I don't know. Here was another one and another piece of wire, 22 slug. But today the big winter chicken dinner was buckshot. So I love finding buckshot. That's one of my most favorite things to find. But you know what? We were able to dig out about 20 targets, 20 pieces of junk out of here. So that's always a good thing. Guys, thanks for swinging in. Smash out my subscribe button. We appreciate you guys being here and taking the time to watch us. Gold Pen and Suntan is out.